Yep, this happens when you don't know who the fuck is gonna set it off. But hey, I'm the one with the loud mouth. So anyway, welcome back to Talon League and welcome back to another match tonight. Team Guardians Alpha versus Nerf Minor. I'm Terrell, this is Wumby, and boy oh boy oh boy. We just came off from a game that we absolutely had no idea would take this far and this long, and seeing how, well, we're definitely in for an exciting treatment for the day because it's time to go on to Villa and see how Team Guardians Alpha and Nerf Minor are gonna do. And well, since I haven't been here for quite a long time, tell me something about these two teams.
Well, if we
Anything
look
really.
anything really. Got
Yeah.
you, got you.
What is their favorite color?
I don't know, probably
Which is the worst food of theirs?
which worst food?
Yeah.
Spaghetti. I
They
don't know, spaghetti's terrible. I hate spaghetti. But what I don't hate is Siege. Sometimes I don't hate it. But going into the operator bans, again,
for fuck's sake!
We have a repeat of the last map, with Nook being banned first, Thatcher being banned second. Now, I said Thatcher makes a lot of sense on Chalet. A Thatcher ban on Villa also makes a lot of sense because he can shut down the whole. He can shut down the whole map. Hold on.
Are you having a stroke?
No, I'm not having a stroke. Somebody's having a stroke. Don't worry about it.
That's not a good thing to hear. Who the fuck bans Capcom? What the fuck is going on? Excuse me, but holy shit. Well, there definitely is one team who thinks they got their balls high up. Let's see, maybe Nerf Minor is gonna fall flat on their face, but damn. Dear Shiva, just do me a favor, just write to the both teams. If you're ever gonna ban Thatcher again and I'm on, I'm just gonna find out their addresses. I really do want to. Yeah, I thought so.
Protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Well, time for another boring game because no Thatcher in play.
Bomb located by attackers.
What the fuck is this blitzkrieg? Oh, yep, there you go. Already out and already swapped for Miana.
Yeah. It's not like they can see the operator picks as well, so it's not like Nerf Miners are gonna be baited by that. Oh, you're gonna pick a blitz, you're gonna be rushing. No, they're not. They don't know that. But Opta going in for the extra bit of intel that the Diana does provide over the blitz. Blitz helps you get into an area quickly. He's really good at pushing defenders back if you can play him properly, because the only thing that's very vulnerable about blitz is the fact that if he's running at you, you can just shoot his toes and easily down him depending on how powerful the gun you have is. Now, but Born also and JBT using the attacker repick as well to go onto the OSA and the IQ. Now, on the kitchen site, usually what's played here is a pulse, and the reason why is because you want to be able to have some effectiveness with the nitro cells down below, and so the IQ helps you counter it. But the IQ is going to be brought for the Valkyrie being in play here from Nerf Miners, who have a heavy hold, or not really a hold, but a setup nonetheless, towards the trophy statuary side, right in front of master bedroom, which is where Guardians want to try and push in from first.
Well, one thing for sure is we're gonna see the Candelas are spreading out across the room, trying to flash that somebody, and well, no one's gonna be there because we at least gonna find out that Eunice is trying to bounce off, and look at this! He gets a nice shot. In the meantime, Nightmare with a C4 right on to Born, leaving Guardians. Yeah, just now only two left. This shot's gonna be followed by the MX4. Just Opta, well, screw out Opta. Joe Obama has got you covered. It's just Gemus is left from Guardians. We already start over for flawless. I think Nerf Minor is. They'd definitely be like, yeah, no, let's just get this shit over with. I got shit to do. Let's go home and just 7-0 them quickly out of the gates. I mean, I doubt even Guardians Alpha has managed to even do some sort of damage.
No. What I did like from their initial push, though, because I am going to give Guardians Alpha some credit, because that push was well coordinated at the beginning, despite how it ended. And the reason why I say that is because I felt like they used the Ying properly. They were also using the IQ to gather intel on enemies, on the enemy util. And they did that. They used the Candelas to force the defenders back. They took out some cameras themselves, but Nerf miners were already set up for that. They used nitro cells. They had swings prepared from the other site or statuary. I mean, so like Nerf miners were perfectly prepared for that. They counter it well. Guardians Alpha had a good setup. It just so happened that Nerf miners had the better guns, had the bigger impactful kills. Our Guardians Alpha get jack squat from that round.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb.
Well, sucks to be them, I suppose. But still, let's see. Jobama definitely trying to be aggressive and nearly taking a head off, and I believe that would have been JBT right there. But hey, high risk, high reward as their playstyle goes. As Matto sets up for their onside, and well, I believe there's literally no one on side. Everyone from Nerf Miner is somewhere around, somewhere hunting a member of Guardians Alpha. Oh dear Lord, I got a terrible feeling about this for the side of Guardians Alpha, because Nerf Miner, they definitely do not want to wait anytime long and anytime soon. They are hungry for those kills. They are doing everything, trying to spot out an opportunity and just grab them as hard and as good as they can. And right now, I see. Well, it looks good. It's a bit shy. Well, there you go, Jobama. Getting a bit of damage done, but Born able to use the wall to his advantage and save himself from a devastating loss right there. And whew. Well, still, Guardians Alpha, they still gotta move and they still gotta make a lot of ground.
Thought that was a little bit essential tried from Jobama, but Jolin tries it out from the bottom window, Born not expecting it. And I was initially going to compliment Guardians Alpha on their take towards the second floor. It seemed like they cleared out the whole setup from Nerf miners on Trophy Statuary, or rather, Nerf miners didn't really necessarily have a setup because they're just waiting for Guardians Alpha to come to them. And that's exactly what Guardians Alpha are doing. They're also wasting a lot of their own time trying to figure out what they want to do. They have the Candelas to be able to initiate some extra aggression if need be after finding Jolin, who was the player who jumped out onto the Habana. They don't really have any hard breach pellets to open up the vault wall. The same room where the Malusi of Jonas is actually camped in. So they can't open up this wall, they can't open up an extra angle to put more pressure onto the Malusi, who's just content with sitting here at a crouch level so they don't get shot from the mirror right in front of them. And there goes the Nitro. So the counter that default plant off the falling, now Matto getting that kill. They don't have any other Nitro cells, Matto doesn't have one, neither does the Valkyrie as they all fall, so they have to swing this. There's the plant going down, as I initially thought that Matto had the upper hand in that situation, but JBT now having to defend against the default V-plant. They have the positional advantage, but he's sticking it, and he still gets it. He only had like about a millisecond left on that.
Oh, nearly clutched this one out. Oh, that hurts. That hurts, man. Dear. I mean, that could have been Nerf minus second round right there. And, you know, if the push would have come through, I mean, yes, the grenade would have killed, but he still would have gotten that defuse, though. And honestly, that would have been really just right there a highlight for this whole evening right there. And wow. You could say just in the last second able to save it, but I don't think that's gonna be able to stop Nerf miners. I would say fairly big confidence. I mean, they clearly are not really shaken by it.
No, I don't think they're shaken at all. They're gonna try the same. Like, usually if a team is shaken up by a loss, because that was so close. Imagine if the Valkyries stayed alive, if they had an extra Nitro Cell to spare. Guardians Alpha wouldn't be able to get that plant down because they got the first kill once Guardians Alpha started to defuse, and that was onto the person defusing at first, and so Guardians Alpha had to retake that position, try again, and they did it, and then the Valkyrie died right on time. So good stuff there from Guardians Alpha in that situation, to have that, not positional advantage, but to be able to find the kills that they needed, because it came at the nick of time when time was running down low, when they needed to make something happen, and they did. Now though, Nerf miners gonna try the aviator game site, so they're clearly not shaken up, because usually if teams lose a site, they'll just go straight to another one, but Guardians, or not yet, for Nerf miners, they're not too shaken up by it. You know, they realize how close that last round was. They realize the margins for it. And they feel like they can take Nerf miners here again. The only difference that I'm seeing is that they have some semblance of pressure or some presence over by the trophy statuary side of things. They had the mirror window set up in master bedroom or towards master bedroom statuary to put more pressure on the player pushing in. But also, you can just tell they're stalling out a bit of time, but they are also giving up kills, Joe Obama dying first.
Well, one loss, but I shouldn't be able to. May or may not have been under their confidence, but still, Nerf miner looking very, very strong. And well, Obama spotting out. Or are we playing on for the North EU? Well, let's just hope not for once. Just this time. Well, C4 is gonna get spotted out by Kazawi, so your awareness is right there, and I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to get it. Can you even get it like this? Is it possible?
Well, he just wasted a drone onto Nightmare, the player who he saw. Well, he was hunting the Nitro Cell initially.
Yeah, it's
but then he.
I feel like it's still there, but you know, maybe just me.
I do want to see if it is, but there's no way for us to have like a down up angle kind of. So we would only have to see it through drones. But I assume he got it because they're not really droning it out anymore. And if it were still there, Nightmare would have blown it already because there was a player who passed through it like 300 times. But speaking of passing through something, Nightmare passes through the 90 window, not expecting a player from a Born to be there, even though that is a very common position to be in. He dies, and Born actually gets another kill as well for Guardians. Leaving it late, though, still finding a way to get the plant down. 4v2, 4v1, as Jonas finds 2, making it a 2v1. Jonas finding his third in a round. Oh, well, this time making it a 2v1. One player is over by Trophy, the other player, I believe, on the balcony. And again, it's the same player. It's the same player, JBT, in a 1v1 situation. Jonas, is he gonna be able to clutch it out? JBT looking in a completely different way. Jonas, why are you running? Jonas, why did you run? Why did he run? Oh my god.
Oh, the second time in a row, and Jesus Christ.
It's the same player as well. JBT coming up huge again for Guardians Alpha, making it a 2-1 lead. Again, just like the last round, Guardians Alpha leave that late. They waited for Nerf Miner to make mistakes, and mistakes they did, they overpeaked, they got the picks they wanted. And this time, actually, for Guardians Alpha, the difference was that they actually kept the Habana alive, so they could open up that vault wall from 90, get that extra bit of pressure added to that position, and there was nobody from Nerf Miners who could hide it. But now, Nerf Miners, you know, having a change of heart somewhat, Gonna go to the second floor site, which is Trophy Statuary. Having the mirror in play, clearly liking the implementation that, or the effect that mirror has on the defense or villain. And I mean, there's so many like different setups that you can do with the mirror. That's why she's been on this map a lot, because it's very hard to challenge the mirrors, not like up front or anything, because you don't want to challenge them up front because the other team can line up shots against you. But it's very hard to challenge them because the defenders have that extra bit of intel, whereas you can't see them unless you somehow get up close and personal with the mirror window, try and break it, or if you have a Twitch drone to be able to take it out. But even then, taking it out with the Twitch drone is very hard indeed.
Well, one thing's assured. Guardians Alpha are looking to proceed with another few rounds, and so far, like, I find it kind of like weird because Nerf Miner definitely, I would say, kind of like we're seeing like a bit of like let's say a repeating thing. Like just the match before, we got Invictum, who, I mean, they really look way better and way stronger. Like definitely from the way to play, but it's just something like fell into, you know, in the lap from the side to Katana, and well, we kind of like see the same thing here repeating again, because Nerf Miner definitely like showing like, we ain't messing around, we want to get this, you know, we want to squash you very quick and overdone, but looks like they're just missing out on just a few things, and not everything goes as, you know, let's say as lucky and as well as you may have think. Joe Obama setting up another, what are they called?
What were you looking at?
The thing that Azami throws.
Oh, the Kiba barrier.
Kiba barrier.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Foamy wall.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Christ.
Yep. Another of those foamy walls blocking off Forborn. Also managing to escape, and still there's a mirror winner in play, and it's still closed, which is, well, maybe perhaps it has to do with Nightmare's presence downstairs and no one from Guardian Alpha was trying to be able to take care of. And right now I see Guardian Alpha really struggling to get advances. Jobama will find one as Kazawi will go down the stairs. He's going to be fine. Nightmare, Eunice will fall, but Eunice at least going to be able to take out JBT. Making this a 3 versus 3 is Kazabi, like literally just a sliver of hair left right now. Yolan's gonna take out Gemis. Meaning Opta, Kazabi versus Yolan. Jabami finds Opta, and another one. Kazabi falls, and Nerf Miner are taking a round back onto their points tally.
You just drop shot him. That's funny. You literally just drop shot him. I think that was 3K from Jobama as well, so nice stuff from these Zami. Again, that's the power of like the Kiba barriers. Like it provides you so much flexibility to be able to like peek around it to create new angles. And that's why I like the introduction of Azami, because it adds some spice to the defense. You can do more things with the defense instead of just like being so strict with how you're positioned. And Azami provides you the extra bit of flexibility on a row. Nerf Miner's getting their second round in a row. Even though they started the round off a man down, able to claw it back with some pretty nice kills, especially from Jonas. Yeah. Now going on to Kitchen. I think, Kitchen was the first set that they used for the first site actually in the whole entire game, and they won that flawless because of the way of how prepared they were for Guardians Alpha to push in that round.
10 seconds left before insertion.
Well, let's gonna see how they're gonna fare up this time. And
Attacker's objective is to defuse a bomb.
you know, looking a bit of the lineups, I really rarely see a word like hella rare, especially to get in combination really with a mirror and. So yeah, kind of, I would say kind of unique to see, but still getting a bit of a really offside right there. Guardians Alpha proceeding with their attack and trying to attack the bedroom, and as per usual, a lot of shots that yield to Buckle. Nobody
The
in
reason-
Astro? Hello? Nobody in Astro. That's
That is odd. Usually,
yeah, that's
they'll
pretty
have
much
a
saying
player
like,
set up.
come on in.
Yeah, usually you have a player set up on the astronomy stairs or something there to inform you of a player pushing in. But at the moment, Opto keeping his discipline on check. Jonas isn't, and he's finding a 2K. So 3 players remain for Guardians Alpha. Again, no real initiative taken from the player on the solarium, on the astronomy window, sorry. As he's just standing there waiting, and he waits, he finds a kill, gives some sort of hope to Guardians Alpha. But will it be enough? One thing that I do want to mention, you talked about the Warden pick. And I think the reason why he was picked was not only in combination with the Mirror, which is a decent enough combination, but also because Guardians Alpha have consistently picked the Ying, and Nerf miners probably with the Warden pick being in play view it as troublesome. So I can see the wisdom in that. Jesus, he flashed himself.
Oh boy! We're back into silly rank. As Gazawi takes out Eunice. Very quickly, essentially. Nightmare. Oh, if the angle Born goes down. But on the other side, Opta is going to be able to take out Yolan. But still leaves a 2 versus 2. Nightmare and Mato versus Opta and Gazawi. The Candelas are gonna.
Oh my god.
Jesus fucking Christ, learn to throw these things. Come on!
No.
Well, destroying that Banshee was not the best option. A sniper will play with. How on earth does this happen?
Well, last 2 players alive. I'm trying to make sense of it as well. Like, last 2 players alive. 1 in Memorial behind the mirror window that was open, by the way. Otherwise, the second to last defender for Nerf miners wouldn't be hiding behind it or in front of it, rather, in Memorial. And you have the second player right behind the Chastity holding a close angle. He gets 1 kill. The Ying makes a mistake with the Candelas, not fully flashing the Warden. I mean, it would have been effective because the Warden can just activate his Gucci glasses, peek behind it, and run right at the Ying when she's least expecting it. But then the gunplay that Octo was just absolutely hitting. Like, he hit his shots. And that's all there is to say about that round.
I feel like this day has been sort of like a trend where, like, the stronger team just. I don't know what just happened. It's just like some incidents that just quite literally just pop up and just make the other team win. So
5 seconds remaining.
I kind of like want to say like I have another feeling the Guardians Alpha are like gonna be able just to win this one, but just from pure, let's say, irony of what has happened earlier today. So. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, they definitely do make some good plays. They definitely know what they're doing, but it seems to be like that Nerf Miner just plays in a way different league of them. But just... I really cannot explain it to myself on how just some things just keep happening.
You know, it's been a very weird assembly of matches. Like, a lot of... both... Like, all 4 teams today have just made some, like, really, like, weird stuff. Really weird stuff. Sorry, that's bad English. But really weird plays that just didn't work out. I mean, that's not a weird play. That's just a nice line up through the wall. Or some would call it a lucky wall bang from Jonas onto JDT. And he gets the flick onto Opto, who approaches behind him but can't take his shots. Is a no. But, or no, that is a nice shot. Sorry, I thought he said no. Like, as in you shouldn't have gotten a kill.
Wait.
But Jonas gets a 2K over by Trophy Statuary. And 3 players fall for Guardians Alpha.
You see, this is exactly like one of those type moments where it's like, look where Nerf Miner is going. Like, they are definitely playing somewhere else, but I mean, like, still, Gemis does his best to do all, but you know, like, just some weird stuff that happens in the Nerf Miner. Well, Jemis right now definitely doing his great bit of work, but Jonas finally gonna be able to put this down, and that's exactly like one of those moments where it's like, this shouldn't be happening or stuff like this. It's like unimaginable, sort of like impossible, but Nerf Miner right now at least gonna be able to make a free on free, and well, apparently it has been that Villa has been more attacker sided. Well, either way, free on free, well, still a good half. Well, still a good decent half, you could say.
Yeah, I think that is a fair assumption to make for the half so far for Nerf Miners. You go into that attack statistically, or rather structurally, the way that build is made, it is more tailored towards the defense because there's a lot of layers to this map. But also, there's a lot of layers to this map. It takes a lot to clear out certain areas as well. And sometimes teams can take too long because they're too distracted by what's going on around them, or they're simply too scared to enter to a map in fear of dying and costing their team around. And so sometimes, yeah, Villa plays perfectly into that. It's a very good map for time wasting, and it's a good map for roaming as well. Same thing with Theme Park. But now Nerf Miners going on to that attack, hopefully they can show some, because I think this is the same thing that for Guardians Alpha that I saw in the last game as well from Invictum and Quintana, that they just take too much time to do something. There's like no rush or no initiative, as if the clock isn't working against them on the attack, when it is. And so I want to see Nerf Miners not like be too aggressive, but find a balance between aggression and also knowing when to play. But just like Guardians Alpha, they're gonna be picking the game, and they're wasting no time. There's no hold towards Office, no hold towards Aviator Gameless from Guardians Alpha, and Nerf Miners, they have free map control. They're already inside.
See, that's exactly the shit that I want to see. Quick, decisive, just absolutely take everything, treat it as free real estate, and completely just move on in, because what's Guardian Alpha gonna do about it? Yo, how are they gonna be able to counter speed? And well,
No.
it's probably the famous word of Lightning McQueen. I am speed, and speed comes in and hits a Rancho Bomber, opens up with 2 Mato, takes out a third, a fourth as well. Jim is the only one left, and Jabama makes it a full house for the side of Nerf Miner. An absolute slaughter fest right here and there. This is exactly the shit you want to see here.
Yeah. Nerf Miners, realizing that that side of the map was very clear, droned it out, just moved in, took that space very quickly, waited for the 3-2-1 from the sledge to punch that one castle barricade by wolves, the other being, I'm guessing, breached out, whether that was from the Zofia or whatever. And they just rushed in. They rushed in, and there was almost no resistance showed from Guardians Alpha. And the main thing that really screwed them over was not having any sort of presence by Master Bedroom. Instead, they actually castled off the trophy statuary door to landing, and they also castled off the that's statuary. So statuary, they castled off the statuary and trophy door to the office side of the map, the south side of the map. And that's what really screwed them over, because they had no intel on how Nerf Miners were actually pushing them. So, well played from Nerf Miners, but Guardians Alpha, you would have expected just a little bit more from them in that round. Because that setup just was not convincing or great at all.
Oh, I smell another opportunity, hopefully. Because, you know, as someone who pretty much started out his life in, you know, let's say a more fast-paced shooter, there is nothing that a good rush can ever stop me.
You like rushing?
Oh, yeah. Not aggression in terms of, like, you know, the waiting around and whatever. Just absolute pure, like, whatever I see, fuck it. I'll just move across, challenge me, face me. Just challenge everything the moment you see. And just completely, as I like to turn, just ego chow. Just show them who's boss, and that's gonna be able to cripple your enemies right there. And the thing that is quite crippling for Nerf Miner right now is that Eunice and Jolan are, well, let's say they're not in healthy condition.
Oh my god, okay. I thought they were gonna do it again, and then they dispersed from the door.
I think
they're Jonas and Jolan are low in HP, by the way, because there's a pulse on the board, and that pulse is below being consistent intel to the rest of his team. And not only that, but they were able to get out 2 nitro cells, not confirming the kill, but still did a lot of damage to this attack. They take out one of the full health players in the sledge, the one player that helped initiate that contact with the sledgehammer in that last round. Nightmare going down as well. They don't have a way to just breach this openly. Jonas is very low in HP. Matzel's trying to get the diffuser down. There goes his Chompa working wonders, but is that fire spreading to the corner? No! He's able to confirm it. Now it's a 1v3, but he gets pre-fired. And, well, it didn't look like, in that situation, it didn't really look like Nerf Miners were going to win it anyways. But still, that the Tronco fire not reaching its designated mark, but the pre-fire from the bandit sure did.
Yeah, well, determination up to the very last second. So hats down on this, but that means one thing: Guardians Alpha is going to be able to equalize the score onto a 4-on-4. And with that, we may only be 3 rounds away from crowning perhaps a winner, or 4 rounds away on perhaps crowning a draw.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
I'm curious because I definitely feel like this, one of them is gonna win, but I really cannot decide on who right now. So on one hand, I see like Nerf Miner, like how hilariously stupid and pretty much, balls deep they gotta go, and this last round was really like, holy shit. That didn't work out as planned at all.
But you gotta give them some credit. They see the opportunity and they take it. They see the space and they instantly take it. And that's I do like. I wouldn't say I really hate it when teams get too aggressive, like they try and run into sight, or they run right into like a setup without taking the proper measure to clear it. But at least with Nerf Miners, there is some structured aggression that is there. Like, they're aggressive, but they're smart about it. And if there is no counter to their rush, they're gonna take it. They're gonna take that opportunity to do it. Because, well, they see it, they're gonna take it. And you can't really say that about a lot of teams. But now, Nerf Miner's still on this attack. Gonna go with the Ying LMG suppressor. Of course, the suppressors having no damage nerf to them, so you can run them freely, have the same amount of damage that the gun originally did have if it ran any sort of attachment or if you didn't run any muzzle on it. And Guardians Alpha holding up strong, or trying to hold on strong to the second floor, though they've given up Bathroom, they've given up Master. They still have the mirror set up as well. Jolan missing a lot of his shots, Meadow finding 1-2. Can they actually pick up Jolan in his position? The Diffuser down as well. 4v3 or 3v3 theoretically. Oh my god, what?
Opta is gonna be able to take out Jabama as Mata will find JBT, making this, well, 2.5 against 5. Yeah, 2.5 against 2. It's yeah, maybe it would be a good time to pick up Jolan. This Nightmare is gonna be able to find Opta, and well, with Gemis being the only one left, well, they're looking for him, and well, they're not gonna be able to find him because Gem is upstairs and got the control right there. He's gonna be able to finish off with Jolan. But still, with that low HP, and I mean, he got the top 4, but effectively, he also gave completely away sight, and well, I mean, that diffuser is gonna stick through, and well, we can completely reverse the roles right here. And I'm not sure about Gems. I mean, how he's gonna be able to fare that, and yeah. You may want to reconsider your choices right there, and well, as long as Nerf Miner can keep Gemmas under fire, he's not gonna be able to push through, or Nightmare just gonna finish him off. Just see a bit on the wall, spray on, and there you go. Nerf Miner taking the lead.
One run away from match point. Guardians Alpha not wanting to try that site again. And I mean, that, again, it wasn't really necessarily like, yeah, it was just Nerf Miners taking their opportunities and then moving into the space once those players fell. And I mean, a couple players fell in trophy, but they still knew that they were players in statuary, so they didn't necessarily rush into it. They played that really, really smartly, whereas Guardians Alpha, they seem to be more fragmented. They seem to be more separated from each other. They weren't necessarily communicating or working with one another. They were just trying to frantically find kills and rounds to put themselves back in the driver's seat, and Nerf Miners didn't allow them to. Because Nerf Miners themselves, they separated, but they also won their gunfights. That's different. Now, heading into this round, again, like I mentioned, it's going to be trophy statuary. And the last time we saw Nerf Miners play this site, the last time we saw, not Nerf Miners, but Guardians Alpha defend this site, they gave up free map control towards Master Bedroom Office, and they have the castle in play just like they did in that other round, that last round as well. And I wonder if they're going for the same castle setup, because I didn't like the castle setup. I don't like it when castles set up their barricades right at the entrances to site, and I would prefer it if you were more flexible with them, like if you set them up around the map to deny entrances in some specific parts. And they're doing it again, but I still don't like this. They don't have any setup towards Master Bedroom, or not Master Bedroom. They don't have any setup towards Aviator Games, but they do get the first pick, and that's all that matters. But already in the site.
Already in the side, but not really showing much effectiveness, as 3 of them go down just for 1, so not really the best trade deal they just made right here. As Jonas tries to tag someone up, unfortunately he's gonna get tagged up himself. Nightmare gets him though. JBT is gonna get taken out, but still there are 3 members of Guardians Alpha to fight against, and well, Shield is gonna get taken out. That means the push, but now it runs straight into the shots of Opta, leaving Jonas the only one left, trying to make it work out for Nerf Miner and trying to secure the match point. I mean, he definitely got the time, but he needs intel very badly, and unfortunately, he has been taken out by Opta. And well, you were saying Castle, I personally do not like to include him, really, because well, usually someone's gonna play him, and that's always has been an issue from the past.
I mean, the difference with that setup and the setup that we saw in Trophy Statuary was that Guardians Alpha just sat ducks in sight and they weren't expecting to rush. This time, since it happened to them in that previous round, they adjusted. They did the same setup, but they adjusted their positions around the rush. They expected Nerf Miner, once they saw the opportunity, to try and take it, and they had players positioned further back to hold long angles, whether that be from bedroom, whether that be from astronomy. They had that all set up. They had that all figured out, and they countered it with their guns. They killed them all as they entered sight, and they got the frags they needed. That's really it. That's how the cookie crumbles, how the ground crumbles. Now Guardians Alpha tying up the scoreboard, it being 5-5, so both teams in this round having a chance to put themselves onto match point. Guardians Alpha choosing the Aviator Games site. It is a favorite site for defenders on this map, actually. I don't have the statistics, but I'm going to assume that it is probably the most played site in this map. At least in comp play. I'm not too sure about rank, because rank statistics are always pretty funny, or pretty janky.
Oh. How does even rank play these days?
Not good at all.
Well,
It's like a frag fist. Like people don't really. It's.
Do you want to tell me I can go in with Call of Duty mentality, or?
If you can win your gunfights, you could probably get a high rank.
Alright, that's definitely a no for me from this one, because I do need aim assist, clearly. But moving on, seeing now how Nerf Miner is trying to do for their advance, and so far Guardians Alpha still able to stay strong and not get involved into any serious bits right there.
Yeah, Nerf Miners setting themselves up. Okay, this isn't the same take that they did last time. It's more on the south side. They want to put pressure on the and they're doing exactly that. They started off with a bang, a 2K from Joe Obama, who gets 2 at the top of main. A little bit too aggressive, but Nerf Miners like it like that. The refrag from Jolin finds some space inside of the site, and Nerf Miners, in a flick, or in the snap of a finger, like Thor with thunder, Nerf Miners put themselves onto match point. It was such an electric, again, they do that same thing. They do the 3-2-1, and then they just rush right in, using their utility, using the concussions to their advantage with the Sophia rushing up with the Ash. Also being there for the refrag too, and Nerf Miners put themselves onto match point.
Well, with that means it's also round 12, which means this is gonna be the last round for today, and well, it's gonna decide. Either Guardians Alpha will secure themselves a point, or Nerf Miner will go home with the full score right here and right there.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many
Well,
bombs
the
as they
last
can.
45 seconds of prep phase you're gonna see tonight. Let's see on what Guardian Alpha's tactic is gonna be and what they're gonna bring up to the table, and whether they can, let's say, make good use of their pick and of their strat, because Nerf Miner really just doesn't seem to really care whatever you bring them to the table, because they're just trying to find an opening or make themselves an opening, and just want to go on head and see what's gonna come out. So far, well, it has worked. Sometimes it really didn't work, so
Attackers are heading out to defuse
let's
bombs.
wait and
Attackers
see.
have dropped the
Definitely
bomb
not
diffuser.
picking
Attackers
the
recover
diffuser with
diffuser.
you. That's a razor dart.
Oh no, they picked it up. But one thing that I do want to say about the setup from Guardians Alpha and its defense, I'm noticing again a little difference. I like to notice little differences here and there whenever teams go from round to round. No, the difference that I'm noticing is that the fact that they're substituting the pulse for the Valkyrie. I prefer the pulse on the site because you're allowed to be more mobile, whereas those Valkyrie cameras can be easily spotted out if there is an IQ on the defense. And if you have the camera set up, then they're gonna instantly know that you're trying to nitrous low play. But for Nerf Miners, they do find a pick back after the initial pick from Kazuha. With Joe Obama falling first. They're not, with Nerf Miners, with the sledge falling first, it's not really a big deal because Nerf Miners are going for more of a horizontal push. They're just rushing right in, and Guardians Alpha are just struggling with this. They do have 2 players left alive, but they don't have site control at all. They also do not have the man count in their favor. Nerf Miners looking to take the full 3 points for today as Jonas, he gets that plant down. The drop is that heard. They have to know where he's coming from now. He just gave away his position with the gunfire. And it's Nerf Miner to get the full 3 points for today.
Oh, what you look at is they came through and they definitely made an impact. 7-5, not really the win they want to see, but it is a win nonetheless. And with that, we got 2 victors for tonight. Definitely for sure on the Miners right there.
Katana Gaming and Chalet, and now it's Nerf Miners 7-5 on Villa. Ooh. First I thought it was gonna be Goldini's or what? Sorry, Goldini's.
Goldini's, yep.
I'm sorry. They both have a G in their name. Oh my god. But regardless of that, Nerf Miners take the full 3 points today. And now, well, I mean, We got some interesting matches. We had some interesting plays. It wouldn't be interesting if it weren't Talent League. But, I think that'll do it for today. It has been me, Sugar, with my co-caster here, Tyrell. And that will conclude the stream for Talent League today. We'll see you next week on Tuesday.
Before you go, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, Talent League has also branched out into Valorant. So
Yes.
to check one that's out. Unfortunately, I have nothing prepared for this, so don't worry. You can find it on Twitter, no problem. Just Talent League Valorant. Just try to look it up. You will find it. Don't worry. And hopefully, we perhaps see some of you guys there. But I guess with that being said, we also, as per usual, need to point out that we're always looking for more staff. We're always looking for more people to recruit. So whether if you're completely new to the game, you got some experience, or you're a complete seasoned vet, just please join in on the Discord. Just apply. We definitely need your help. We always can use it. But finally, we can conclude this day. So let's do it. I wish you all a very good night. Stay safe, stay frosty. Goodbye.